This week on Love 'em and Lead 'em.
Yeah, I just have a fascination with the numbers and the data and trends, and it was more so based off of that when I started offering the graphs and the scoring. And it was kind of built out of like little bit of my military, like how we tracked dogs' progress
and not so dissimilar to tracking special education IEP progress.
So, boom! Those two things came together and had a baby into a graph.
It's the dog report card.
Hi, I'm Melanie,
And I'm Corey.
and welcome to Love 'em and Lead 'em.
Lessons and laughs with the ladies of Dog Training Camp USA.
In this podcast, you'll take away proven and practical dog training advice with plenty of stories and laughs along the way.
Join us as we share our experience from the kennel and from life.
With that, let's sniff our way into this episode. Okay,
Here we go.
what episode is this? Episode I don't know.
23?
Damn,
23.
I've been doing this for a minute now.
I know. I'm proud of us. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. Classic case of hire somebody to help you do something you don't know how to do and then not be satisfied with the outcome and then take it over yourself and spend quadruple the time.
And then that's just entrepreneurship in a nutshell right there.
And if it doesn't look like you want, learn how to do it yourself.
Correct.
So here we are.
Yep. But we are very thankful for our friends at the library who help us
Absolutely.
learn the things we don't know how to do.
We love the Bullitt County Public Library, all of them, every one of them, the director, the locations. We went to the Mount Washington branch
Oh, we went on a field trip to the
For-
Mount Washington branch.
to see
our girl,
an influencer,
our new favorite influencer.
the Appalachian forager.
Yeah, she taught us how to look for mushrooms.
She did.
That wouldn't kill us.
Yeah. The thing that was shocking to me was that the entire room was filled and she commanded a giant crowd and
yeah.
she sat there in her bare feet
She was
and was hilarious and started saying all these Latin science words. And my takeaway from this was that she's real smart
great. Oh, yeah.
and a little more sciencey than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody is into mushroom hunting. And I only want to learn like 5 mushrooms that I can find and eat. And I don't want to learn Latin names or any such thing.
Yeah, we don't need to because she taught us the Appalachian names for them.
Like some kind of like witch's snot or something.
Oh yeah, she
was
had great
one of
names
them.
for them. She was the type of person we listened to her for 4 hours.
Yeah,
with no
we were
breaks.
there for a long time, and it was so full. We sat on the floor.
We sat on the floor for 4 hours and watched this girl talk about mushrooms.
We crisscross
and
applesauce.
I didn't think I just was kind of tagging along, and I was like, Corey's dragging me to this thing, which is pretty much the story of my entire life. And then I
Hashtag adventure.
I actually really enjoyed it. So
It was fascinating, and I liked it because we were able to like dip a toe into it and learn, kind of figure out the extent to which we want to dive into this.
yeah,
And it's actually much more limited than I thought. I thought I was going to be like, I'm all in on this, but I really just don't want to know all of that. I want to just have 4 or 5 like hen of the woods, morels, some other mushrooms that I can identify and not die, but also cook. And we did order her book. Her book is Go Forth and Forage.
Oh yeah,
And the book is great. It's
Yeah.
absolutely great. I wish we would have had it because then we could have gotten her to sign it.
I know. Well, we were finding things. We're both from Illinois, and we were finding things out in the woods, and we're like, we think we can eat this, but because the terrain is so different, we're second guessing our mushroom identifications, and also they don't kind of grow in the same places down here as they do
Correct.
back home.
The trees are
So-
different, all the things.
Long story short, that's what led us on this mushroom journey
Because we're hanging out in the woods.
a lot.
We know we're going to find mushrooms.
Yeah. So,
Anyway, it was super interesting. But that's, again, another shout out to the library system. But next time, if you're going to have her, you better have her at the main branch.
yeah,
Because
man.
she'll fill that room.
Yeah.
No questions asked. There were some people in there that were hardcore. And some people like came in dressed with mushroom gear, which all of those things I appreciate so much because it's like us for birding.
I know.
And also, she told a hilarious story, which we can relate to, about her being in a mushroom group and identifying a mushroom for someone
Oh
on
my
Facebook and how the moderator of the group, which I would call henceforth the shroom police,
Okay.
they were like, that's not right. And she took a hilarious, like, sassy picture by the exact situation that the lady said was not
Submitted
correct.
proof of
And
it. Yeah.
they
That
kicked her-
contradicted what they were
They
arguing
kicked her
about.
out of the group.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, you know, we are going to talk about this again here in just a second, but we deal with the bird police.
Yep.
And she dealt with a similar situation, the shroom police.
Yeah. People
And-
get really passionate.
Yeah, so I thought, you know, we're kindred spirits. We want to look at birds because we're more animal people, and she wants to look at mushrooms and forage and get nuts and berries and whatnots. But we both have to deal with people that take this way more seriously than we do.
There is lots of differing opinions now that the internet is the way of life. And that's how we came to choose a topic today about what we're going to talk about. Lots of different schools of thought on foraging, birding, and dog training.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So you can find anything on the internet. And you can believe whatever you want to believe, but we in the dog training industry have been in it for a while, and we have some suggestions on how to find a dog trainer that will work for you, because what keeps happening is the phone rings and somebody will say, "Hi, I just want to know your prices."
Price is important.
Price is important. It's definitely a factor,
Mm-hmm.
but in the landscape of dealing with your animals and what you need to have happen and what you're capable of, there are a lot more important questions than what's the price. If that's the only thing you're going by, I highly recommend that you open up your mind to some of other important things that you need to be asking about.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've said this before on the podcast, but we're the type of trainers that, like, we don't dog on any like tool or style or method. Like, each kind of thing, like methodology in like the animal behavioral world and training and behavior modification, like, they all have their places and uses, and they if used correctly, they're very effective. If used incorrectly, they can do a lot more harm than good. So that's kind of what we are going to talk about today, and why we do some of the things that we do. And if you are looking for a dog trainer and you are not able to consult with us because of where you are or whatever, hopefully this will help you kind of narrow down your search if you are looking for somebody to help you with your
Yeah.
dog.
So pricing is important, but there's a big difference in, you know, PetSmart class that's $100 for 4 classes versus, you know, a trainer that goes to continuing education and has had a lot of training and all the things and does very different things. There's also, you know, you can get your dog help in a store. You can get it online. You can get it individually, like at your home.
Yeah.
You can get it at a facility. You can have a board and train. So there are a lot of options. And like you said, we don't villainize any of them, and not everything works for everybody. But you really need to think about a little bit more than just what is the price. I mean, I think narrowing down price ranges and narrowing it down to some trainers, but even at that point, you still have some questions that you need to ask to know that you're getting what what is going to be the best thing for you and your dog.
Yeah, yeah. So a big one in the dog training industry, and maybe we've talked about this before too, but we always get asked about our credentials, right? So this is an industry where there is no like central governing body, not like, I don't know, what is it? Not like the bar exam, right? Like where you have to pass this one standardized thing and there's a group of people that are in charge of it and regulate it and you have to keep up current on your licenses. Like,
yeah, that's not a thing.
Like not like the American bar, not like, you know, being a medical doctor. These are like,
or real estate.
Yeah,
like that kind of thing.
There's no official like license. And there are some like larger entities and organizations out there that have credentials for animal trainers and behaviorists. I would just say they're not like as large or mainstream as what you would see in other professional services like doctors, lawyers.
Correct.
Sorry, those are the only things that are coming to mind right now. But so when you're looking at who to trust, who to, you know, what credentials, kind of what, in my experience, like trainers that have just like have time of experience and hands-on handling, I would say are probably the most valuable pieces of experience you can look for, because there's a lot of these kind of credentialing companies in our world that you can go on and, you know, pay $500,
take like 10 modules,
take a proctored
videos
exam
and stuff like that too.
Yeah, take a proctored exam and they give you a piece of paper and they say you are a certified dog trainer and you've never actually touched or handled an animal. I mean, that's a realistic
Oh, absolutely. It happens all the time.
Path for this. And I'm not like, if you have that certification or you've built your business around that and you actually handle dogs and have great results, then that's a great dog trainer, right? Like, because I want somebody that's going to be thorough and somebody that knows what they're talking about and has some education to back it up and experience to back it up. So those two things are very important. But, you know, it's kind of like a misconception. The greatest misconception of the industry is that, you know, being a dog trainer requires a certification. So like,
right.
The only training that I have that I bring to the table is my military background and training. And my piece of paper I received from the military does not say you're a certified dog trainer.
Right.
Mine says you're a certified dog handler, right? And I went to other courses. I went to a course called Train the Trainer. That was great, that I got to get a lot more experience in. But as far as, you know, comparing trainers online, those are credentials that are worth checking into.
And not discounting somebody that doesn't have a lot of letters behind their names, because there are a lot of oversight in credentialing groups that are, it's not regulated. It's not, you know, any kind of official, that's their group. This is how they train. And you took their class is all it means. It doesn't mean you went to college for it and all the things. So this is where, when we're talking about credentials, we feel like, and we've both done tons of education and tons of all of this. But we feel like the hands-on dog training experience is the most valuable thing. Yeah. So don't just look at letters and think that that's the be all end all.
I would, if it were me and I had to hire a dog trainer, just knowing what I know, I would probably hire the person with the most diversified experience and resume over the person with the most letters behind their name or the most like pieces of paper.
Because that just means they're good at taking tests. We don't have any actual.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've met great dog trainers that had nothing and they just learned from, you know, keeping their minds open, getting different training experiences. Yeah. And they're able to go on and have excellent results in excellent dog training businesses because of their gumption, not because they paid a lot of money for education.
So you can ask about credentialing and things like that. Yeah. Also, you know, if somebody is only standing on their credentials, I think that says a lot, again, because it's letters behind their name.
That's true. Yeah.
One of the things that I tell people is you need to ask them about their methods and their tools that they use, because really how you're learning with the dog is what you're going to continue to do. So if you're using a certain tool, you'll probably need to continue to use that tool. If you're using certain words or certain commands, you're going to need to continue with those certain words or commands. So what methods or tools do they use? We don't use any e-collars, clickers, treats, all of these tools. Now, does that mean that we think they're bad? No, there's a place for everything. We have reasons why we don't use them. We don't really need them. But we've had clients call and say, I got my dog trained and it came home on an e-collar, and I am so against e-collars and I can't believe that this has happened. Will you work with us to get the dog off the e-collar? So while e-collars in general are not a tool that we utilize, we also think they're fine if they're utilized properly. But the problem is people don't know what to ask. So you need to see, like, if you are against e-collars, then you need to specifically ask the trainer, will you be using an e-collar on my dog?
Yeah.
So that you have that clarification, because that happens a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Or all of these tools have their merits. And I would say, like, if you're working with a trainer that uses clickers, e-collars, that's great. Dogs it just depends on what you're wanting, right? So like in our kind of world, we're helping families just keep dogs in their homes. We're trying to help everybody just live the best lives they can
harmonious
live.
living.
So, I mean, when it comes to equipment, I've used clickers, I've used shock collars, I've used all of the different things. I have experience using all of them, but when I'm walking into a house with the busy mom with 3 kids and she's got to take the dog on the family walk with the stroller, I know she's not going to want to load up the clicker and make sure the shock collar is charged and
put her treat patch on.
We are looking for, we're taking the path of least resistance. We're looking for the easiest solutions to these things. And we have found a way that we just don't have to depend on these tools. But they're certainly appropriate for other training scenarios. Lots of bird hunting dogs are introduced to electronic collars because they give you a long range of control. And that's exactly what you need for that setting. So, again, it's so funny. We were talking to our trainer friend, Kirsty, after she had her baby. She was like, and I had this moment too. She was like, I can't believe that I used to go into new mothers' houses and like tell them to like, you just got to walk your dog more, or I like said that to a mom with little kids. I'm like, girl, same. Like I had no idea, like
how hard it is when you're in it.
When we're giving people these solutions, like we are such, because of what we like to do and who our clients are, like making this training decisions under that lens. What's going to be the easiest for you? What's the dog going to enjoy? What are you going to enjoy? And that, as far as equipment goes.
But it's important to ask
for sure
the question of who you're interviewing.
Oh, yeah.
What equipment do you use? What equipment will you have me continuing with?
Yeah.
So that you know, because again, if you want to use an e-collar, don't come to us, right?
Yeah, we tell people that all the time.
If you are looking for e-collar training and you ask me what equipment I use and I say Alicia Crate in our attention and affection, then you say, what about an e-collar? And I say, we don't utilize e-collars. And I would say, if you're looking for that, there are other places that would suit you better.
And
so
probably do it way better than if we even tried to do
I
an
don't even
e-collar.
want to mess with it. So that is an important question. It's just as important as price. Like what equipment are you using and whatever else. If you are doing a board and train of any kind, if that's the service that you're looking for, there are a lot of questions to ask because it's a lot like sending your child to daycare or picking a school. Like you want to know what's the environment like? How long are people there? What's going on during the day? Yeah. What's the supervision?
Curriculum.
Do dogs play with each other? So when you're looking at board and trains, if it is not explicit on their website where your dog will actually be, you need to be asking that. So for us, we have a physical location. We have a kennel. A lot of trainers will do, they don't have a kennel. They do board and trains out of their home. We had some very good friends that did that, and it worked for them, and it was great. So I don't have inherent like concerns about that, but you just need to know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not uncommon for trainers to offer pickup and drop off services, and that's really nice and awesome. But then that kind of leaves you, the consumer, in a spot where you're not seeing the environment that your dog's going to be in. So and again, I don't care. Like if if you want to send your dog to that, and that's not important to you, then, and the training is, then great. But we just see what people tell us is important to them, and we've kind of tailored our program to that over the years.
So I don't care if you do your board and trains out of your home or if the company does that. But again, sometimes it's not transparent on the website, and you need to make sure that you know where your dog is going to physically be when it's away from you.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've heard lots of horror stories too. I mean, like people that maybe weren't honest about it. Somebody went to go get their dog, and the dog wasn't where the trainer said it was. I mean, these are nightmare scenarios, but because it's happened, it's just something that we want people to know is not outside the realm of possibility.
Right.
When it comes to this.
So what is your location? Is it a home? Is my dog being kept in a crate in your home? Is it in an outbuilding at your home? Is it in your garage? Where is it? Where are your personal dogs kept? Like, kind of the logistic questions are very important.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have credentials, equipment, environment when you're evaluating a dog trainer. Cost, obviously.
Obviously. I mean, I do a lot of cost analysis, like with trainers, local trainers especially. And I had a client or a lead reach out and say, I wanted to go to so-and-so, but they charge $3,000. And my reply was, well, we do too. So I said, when you're looking at only cost, if that's out of your range, then you might not be able to afford a board and train.
Yeah.
So then your next question is, if I can't afford the service that is the ideal service that I want, what is the next step down? And what, how do we accomplish the training I want to accomplish within my budget?
Yeah.
But, cost wise, most of us are within a couple $100s of each other.
Yeah.
So then it comes down to the other questions, right? What is the environment? What are the tools? All of those things.
Well, and if just from a business perspective, like if I'm offering a service at the rate at the same or similar to all of my competitors, right? But how am I gonna make my service better and offer more, which is exactly what we do. We offer a ton of kind of extra things with our training that really, I feel like it ends up being a way better deal for people.
Oh my gosh.
Looking, if you put all of it in a bullet list at price wise, I think you would see that you get a little bit more for your money at dog training camp.
Well, even that, so then what does this program that I'm choosing include, right?
Yeah. So that's another one, like scheduling, right? Like, obviously it has to fit in with your schedule. Some training facilities, they don't even keep dogs overnight. You got to drop them off and pick them up. And some people, that is the only way they would send their dog somewhere. And some people would never be able to do that with their schedules. So, for what has worked for us over the years is we don't offer like a day train program, just because we find the results really just we're never satisfied with the results when we do like a straight up day train. And so we only offer, you drop your dog off and you got to wait a couple of weeks, because that's just the results that we are satisfied with providing. And, that's the details of our program. But, other trainers offer a lot of different services that might be able to help you too.
As far as like, what does this particular program include? One of the biggest things for me that people need to be asking, and then I would recommend you ask this, and then I would recommend you do further research on the answer, and you can do that through Google reviews or, whatever, which way. But it's how do the skills that you've taught my dog get transferred to me, and how will how will you make sure that I understand what I'm supposed to be doing and things like that? And like
Follow up training.
to your point, that's exactly what we do really, really well. The human education portion of our program is very robust. You get
Freakishly.
everything in writing, in video form, and in person. You get additional group classes. You get phone support. And, one time you even drove out to somebody's house at 8 a.m. for an emergency in your pajamas. So we have a very robust human portion of the program. And
this is like nobody really cares that we do this, but the girls at the kennel humor me. And I started this a long time ago, and the clients are always kind of like, oh, okay, like that's kind of cool. But like, it's not like a huge deal. But every dog in my camp is being rated on a scale of 0 to 5 of their performance in 5 key areas every single day. And at the end of their stay, that shit is graphed, and you are given a graph of your dog's progress.
It's above and beyond. I'm not going to lie. In fact, it shocked a client just this Friday. This past Friday, he goes, I had no expectation of all this stuff that you guys are doing. He said, I watched the Instagram stories and it looked like my dog was having fun. But now that I'm seeing all this and seeing the dog, I'm completely shocked.
Yeah, I just have a fascination with the numbers and the data and trends. And it was more so based off of that when I started offering the graphs and the scoring. And it was kind of built out of like little bit of my military, like how we tracked dogs' progress.
And not so dissimilar to tracking special education IEP progress.
So boom, those two things came together and had a baby into a graph.
It's the dog report card.
The dog training camp report card.
Yeah.
So those are just things, again, follow-on training. It's my favorite thing to sit down and look at those graphs with people and tell them and help make sense of those numbers, because it just reveals a lot of information about your dog. It gives us areas that are strengths, weaknesses, and those are all things that we slide into the final training plan that are going to make you successful after you get your dog home. So another reason why we started doing that is because so many people, feedback we were getting from our program is, oh my gosh, my dog just listens so well to you, or my dog just listened to the trainer and it never really respected me and was never obedient to me. And so that's why we've built in some of these aftercare things so that it absolutely transfers and you've not wasted your money.
Correct.
In some cases it's more challenging than others, and we have to do a little bit more work.
And we don't pad the numbers, by the way. If the dog's graph looks like trash, then it looks like trash, and then that informs what we're communicating to the parents. Like, your dog really struggles with this and this, and this is where we ended, and this is how you can keep trending up. So we make sure that they have a great picture of their dog's progress and abilities, and know exactly what to do to keep moving forward.
Yeah. So we don't want anybody to struggle with those things. So aftercare and after camp is I would say a pretty important piece of hiring any dog trainer. So
absolutely. Another thing I wanted to bring up is, and we kind of talked about this in line with, where is your dog kept when the trainer has the dog, all those things. But we have very explicit standards of care that we have posted on our website. Like, all animals will have water 24/7 during their whole stay. And, every dog will be with a trainer at all times. Like, a lot of standards of how we care for an animal that we have. And so we err on the side of overly transparent. But we feel like it's important for people to know where their fur children are and how they're being treated and what equipment and all the things. And so that's why I just wanted to make sure that, price is an important factor, but it's definitely not the be all end all factor. And even for us, if you call and you are looking for a board and train and it's just not in your budget, we can accomplish the same goals as a board and train through a less expensive service, which would be lessons. Our lessons are a little different than everybody else's. So if you're calling because you want in-home dog training, or you want lessons, or you want a less expensive option, again, there are questions you need to ask around that. Like, how often do we meet? Where do we meet? Do we get a detailed training plan? How do you teach us, again, with the equipment, things like that? But what is the lesson program like, and how can we get to our goals? Obviously, lessons are heavier on a client to be practicing and whatnot, and teaching the dog more than just maintaining it if they come home from a board and train. But we can accomplish the same goals as long as, you know, the client realizes it's a partnership at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously, like, just this is kind of consumerism 101, but me, if I'm shopping for something, I mean, especially as service, if I look at somebody's website and I'm left with more questions than answers, like, I've got to have a warm fuzzy, right? Especially at the price point and the amount of trust that it takes for people to leave their cherished family members with us. Like, it's not a responsibility I've ever taken lightly. So, you know, I would say online reviews are very important. What people are saying on Facebook pages and Reddit pages are very important. And I mean, ask your vet. Your vet usually knows. Vets have good kind of senses about those things sometimes. Just ask people you trust. That's what I would do too, if you're not sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
But if you call, have a list that goes beyond what's the price. Just please. A poor lady called the other day and she's like, what are your prices? And I'm like, well, what's going on? Because every job is a little different. So I can tell you the prices, but to really help you decide what service is going to be effective for you and to make sure that you're getting what you want out of this, we need to have a little bit of a deeper conversation. If you're just strictly looking at prices and want sit, stay down, then you can go wherever, and that's fine.
Also, if you look at our site and you're not sure about what service, I also created a quiz you can take, and it'll tell you what service you need based off your dog's behavior.
You didn't just make this up, though. That's the cool part about it.
No, I'm not. I can't take credit for that.
It's a veterinary behavior scale.
Yeah.
So you can even take a free veterinary behavior scale
and get a score. Yeah.
And get a score on our website.
For sure. Yeah.
So price. If the price is nice, you still need to ask the questions.
Yeah.
Please ask the questions.
Yeah. If the price is too nice, ask more questions than you think you need to.
Yeah.
For sure. So
yeah. And it's also okay to try to get help first if you have a budget issue from Joe Schmo's cousin's brother who touched a dog one time. But I would expect the results from that to be, in line with the amount of money that you've invested.
Correct.
So
yeah,
that's the story. Ask more questions.
There's a lot of dog trainers in the world.
There are a lot of dog trainers in the world.
And in all seriousness, anybody that works with us and trusts us to treat their dog right and be nice to them and have results that are successful, we're thankful for.
Oh my gosh.
Either way.
We were just talking about how amazing our clients are. They're the best.
Yeah.
They're the best.
Yeah. So
we're very lucky. Because we ain't everybody's cup of tea.
Come on. We're all right.
Most of the time. You never know when we're going to be in the middle of a lesson and just like, oh, did you see that bird? What was that?
That's true. Just whip out the Merlin Bird ID app and just ID that shit right on the spot.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We've got a big bird event coming up this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
We're going to take some veterans out birding and teach them and get them in nature and get their eyes up.
Yep.
Teach them how to use their binoculars.
Yep. So it's called Operation Bird Song.
Excellent.
And if you keep your eye on our socials, you will be able to probably see more bird events. We've got lots of bird stuff just churning. Like,
In
what
the
if we
wo-
did this? What if we did
In
this?
the works.
So yeah, we just have to get some
In the works.
more time.
We just had a great spring little after church birding adventure just this past weekend. We thought we saw.
After church birding adventure.
Well, yeah.
Sounds like we're 100. Right after
Oh,
we
then
played
Then
pickleball.
we went to the Ponderosa and yeah.
If anybody didn't know any better, it sounds like we're freaking retired because we also played
know.
pickleball that
We
day.
did play pickleball. I'm still sore from pickleball. Let's just really quick just recap how the pickleball match went.
I'd rather not.
What? I couldn't
rather-
hear you.
I said I'd rather
What?
not.
Why don't you want to talk about our pickleball, our first pickleball of the season at the
Well-
very nice brand new pickleball court at the Shepherdsville City Park?
Well, because I let you beat me.
Oh,
And I really didn't want to disappoint you
I
by
kicked
telling you.
your ass twice, and you were cussing and yelling, and
I was.
there was almost like a racket slam down, and then somebody pulled up. There's only one court. Somebody pulls up, and you go, "Well, maybe we should just quit right now since somebody else is here and they want this
That
court."
is not
I was
even
like,
true.
"What?" And
That
then
is
I
not
said,
even true.
"You are not throwing this match because
And I
you're
said, no, totally. Of course I wouldn't let you win.
pickleball champion right here."
It's because I don't know my own strength and I just really hit the ball just too hard every time.
Oh,
I lack,
strong.
I lack finesse. It's like you guys were giving me shit about darts.
We played
I really
darts,
just
too.
lack a lot of finesse.
Everything, every
I-
sport that I've ever seen you play, you're like freaking Happy Gilmore with the wind up. It
I-
doesn't matter what the sport is. We went to Top Golf, Happy Gilmore.
Oh God.
We went to pickleball, Happy Gilmore. We what darts, Happy Gilmore. Every single
Axe
time.
throwing. I'm like,
Axe throwing,
if you,
Happy Gilmore.
the harder you try, the more accurate you are, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
harder you swing the golf club.
Thank God you don't go to the range like that.
The
I'm
harder
like,
I throw
calm.
this dart, the closer to the center it's going to be, right?
No. And it like pings off and shoots,
I
the other
did-
direction.
I think I did beat Dave at darts.
Yeah.
Did I beat him that
I don't
night?
know. I beat you.
Well, yeah, we all know. You and your son beat me, but I was going to say I beat your husband, but also he has just the one eye.
It's
So we were actually pretty
He plays
evenly-
on a handicap.
we were pretty evenly matched in that outcome.
I would rather watch you do this than even beat you because it's that entertaining to like. It's great. I love when I beat you at tasks of physical strength. But I even like you. I like watching you do it more because you just get so worked up and it's hilarious.
I am not competitive at all. In fact, I just have a hard time keeping interest in any sort of competition.
Clearly.
It's not exciting to me.
Clearly. So it's a good thing that we aren't actually into competitive birding, that we like to do it together because
Well, last year it got a little competitive. We tried to do a big year and
yeah.
we were going to compare our lists at the end of the year.
But you quit making your list.
Yeah, I did. I
So.
fell off on my list. Maybe next year. I think we need to do bald eagle count as a competition.
We've been seeing a lot of bald eagles and just got a text today from
Who was that?
she's not a client. She's like a professional person in our network that was like, is
Oh,
this
yeah.
actually an eagle in my backyard? And it was like, America. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's a gigantic bald eagle in your
If
backyard. It was
you-
hopping along in our grass. I'm like, what is happening?
If you see a bird out in the wild and you think, I wonder if Mel and Corey would like to see a picture of this, the answer is yes. And send it to us.
It's a resounding yes. Please
and
send it to us.
If we are really just delighted when our friends text us and say, what kind of bird is this? It's just kind of really become our favorite game. So
It's great. It's great.
thank you for that, professional business network person
Friend.
whose name you don't want to say.
Her name is Dana.
Thanks, Dana.
So I'm like, I don't know how to. She runs a roofing company and she's awesome. And she has a giant eagle in her backyard.
Hell yeah. Oh, you had some like really, really old like social media contact that had, was it great horned owls in her backyard?
She has great horned owls in her yard.
Said on the Facebook, she posted about it on Facebook, and you said, "Can I come
Can
over?
we come over?
And she never.
She didn't respond.
It's
Oh,
embarrassing for you.
you know, maybe she didn't see it. In fact, I might just text her and be
I
like,
think you should not do that.
could we come over?
I don't know if you saw this thing you ignored on Facebook.
Because it's so abnormal for us to just show up in somebody's backyard looking at birds, Melanie.
No idea what you're talking about.
As we run through.
I ran
between
through
houses.
the neighborhood by the kennel, and this guy like pokes his head out the window, and I'm like, "Hey, there's a great blue heron back here. I just wanted to look at it." And his dog is in the yard, and I'm like, "Nice beagle," and then I ran away.
I was the getaway driver for that. It was fantastic.
So,
You never know what we're going to get up to.
awful lot of hijinks lately around birds.
Correct. Well,
All right.
hopefully we answered some questions and got people thinking if they're looking for a dog trainer.
At the bare minimum, hopefully we get more bird pictures out of this.
Correct.
All right.
Keep them coming, everybody.
We'll see you all next time.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Love 'Em and Lead 'Em. If you want to hear more, be sure to check us out every other week on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Please be sure to follow us on Instagram at Dog Training Camp USA Louisville, and check out our website at dogtrainingcamplouisville.com for more information on our training and other services.
If you need help with your dog, don't hesitate to reach out. You can find our contact details in the show notes.
We'll smell you later.